Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program normally. But on these sad Mondays when your team lays an egg and you sit in the stadium and get soaked on, completely soaked on, because you're 3 rows ahead of the overpass, so they're all dry behind you, but you get soaked on, and because you're such a hardcore fan that you don't miss plays, that you sit in that rain until the end of the game, even though you're down by 17 for the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. That's what happens sometimes, and I give a big shout out to the Denver Broncos, who I thought played an extremely good game. They really came prepared, they played well, they faked injuries to stop our no-huddle offense, which, you know what, good job by Shanahan. So, I'm upset, but I'm also shaved, and that does mean that I'll be clean-shaven for my appearance on the CBS Early Show on Wednesday. So set your TiVos, Vayniacs. I will be on the early show, I think between 7 and 9 a.m. I'll get more details tomorrow if I have them. I hope you join me and check me out and Twitter it out, pass it on to friends. I'd love for them to see it. I've got a pretty good segment in mind. And I also have a crap load of candy bars on set today on the Thunder Show, because this is the long-awaited wine with candy bar pairing show. You're here. It's like Oprah's big giveaway. You know, Mott, you get a candy bar. I mean, you like the little fake? And I got sacked. That's why I didn't get it, because it's mine. Anyway, so very excited. What wine goes with candy bars? You know, we've paired wine with a lot of different things through the years, but I don't know if people realize that candy bars, especially tremendous candy bars, like 100 grand, which I think is just tremendous. Candy bars, my friends, go extremely well with wine. And I've got 4 wines here, all of which I've had in the past, but not recently. Wines that I've loved. And through my notes internally, I've decided are the wines to pair with candy bars. So a little unusual Thunder Show where 99% of the shows are wines that I've never had before. These are all wines I've had before. And they're here for a reason, because they pair with beautiful candy bars. Do you like the crunch bars, Matt? I saw your face. There you go. Take a little piece. It's okay. Thank you. Your Giants did a good job again. They're on a different planet than everybody right now. Also, before we get into the wine, this Saturday in San Francisco, 2 events. If you're in the Bay Area, one, I will be at the Jets-Niners game on Sunday, but if you're in the Bay Area, 2 events. One, book signing, Mott, at Books Inc. in Chestnut Street. Mott, let's link it up. Speak to Matt if there's a Facebook invite thing, or there's got to be some good link for that. And the Fort Mason tasting on Saturday. Let's link that up. Second annual. A bunch of Vayniacs will be there. Looking forward to that. Let's get into the wines. The first wine, friends, if you're a candy bar eater, that I recommend is the Monteflores 2006 Merlot. This is one of the better Merlots that I've come across from Argentina. A couple things I like about this. 10 bones. Great price point for Merlot. Very hard to find good value Merlot at $10. You know, Merlot is... Oh, by the way, here's a ticket from yesterday's game, Mott. You want to zoom in on this? Just so they see this is the one ticket I didn't... You know, just a ticket from the game. So I just want to show everybody what I think about this game. That's what I think about the Jets-Broncos game yesterday. Anyway... hard to find great Merlot for under 10 bones, but one of the sneaky parts of the world that I've been seeing that is producing Merlot of very capable value in the $8 to $12 range is Argentina. I've been coming across more and more of them, and this Monteflores $10 Merlot has brought thunder in the past. Let's see, I haven't had it for about 6 or 7 months. Good chocolate nose on the nose, so you like that. Little dark chocolate. There's also a really nice little play of like red beets coming through on the nose. And a heavy dose of black currant on the back end. So very nice nose. Let's give it a whirl. Good bright fruit, but not candy ass, as The Rock would say. It's got firm tannins, and it treats itself a little bit more like a Bordeaux. Now, when you take out, let's say, a Kit Kat. Let's go Kit Kat with Argentinian Merlot, when you take a Kit Kat and you eat it, because it's delicious, and you pair it with the Merlot, what you see is the chocolate accentuates the black fruit and, believe it or not, calms down the tannin structure on the back end. So what you're getting is a hedonistic, dessert-like opportunity. Delicious. Dynamite. You might be shocked, but I didn't come up with that. A beautiful pairing. The Merlot really works well with this Kit Kat. Goes tremendous with milk chocolate. A lot of these wines I'm going on basis of having hints of milk chocolate more than dark chocolate, since most candy bars are milk chocolate. And there's also little things in the notes. What I look for in a red wine to pair with chocolate, a lot of time on my palate, are the tasting notes: currant, black, blackberries, even a little hint of pepper, and what I call sweetness of fruit. And I don't use it on the Thunder Show as much as I use it on my tasting notes when I write, which is kind of ironic. But there's a sweetness of fruit that I think is imperative to match with these candy bars that you look for. This Monteflores to me is a classic 88-point wine, just a brilliant effort for Merlot. And if you're trying to figure out if you like Merlot, or if you haven't liked Merlot, or if you used to like Merlot but Hollywood told you not to, and you want to come back and try it for $10, I highly recommend finding the Monteflores around the country and trying it, because it's a very good effort. Do you know what I mean? It's just real wine, right? It's just real wine, and for $10, that doesn't happen every day, so I'm very impressed with the Monteflores. Seek it out. Good start. Showed pretty well. Next, Cantus Carmenere from Chile. $8 US. So you can see the theme right now, right off the bat, is value. 8 bones. Very excited about this Carmenere. This one really hit my scene about 3 months ago. Had a supplier come in, try these. They look a little gimmicky with the labels, a lot of different flavors. Loved them. Bought up all the flavors. Just brought them in during Thanksgiving. A lot of people bought them. A lot of people came back this weekend and bought them. $8. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty popular brand for us. But the Carmenere stood out for me. Now, Carmenere, very interesting grape varietal. Over 4,000 hectare. Over 4,000 hectare. I think 4,000. I'm gonna have to look it up. But I think 4,000 acres planted in 2006. The last time they gave the numbers of Carmenere now in in South America. Chile is really doing well with Carmenere. A grape varietal that has its origins in the Medoc in Bordeaux. Carmenere was really one of the go-to grape varietals pre-phylloxera in Bordeaux, and has great tradition as a very serious grape, and has now really resurged itself in South America, though we're starting to see some play, believe it or not, in Veneto, where we're, with the Amarone type style wines in Italy. So we're seeing a lot of resurgence in this grape varietal. It's been bringing very, very exciting metrics and quality to the South American scene, especially in Chile. And this wine, this Cantus, really stunned me. It was really one of the best examples under $10 that I'd ever come across at the time. It was probably the wine within the whole Chardonnay, Shiraz, all the different flavors we carry, wine of the bunch that really kind of gave me the excitement in this brand. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. This is a wild nose. Very herbaceous, covered with also like a truffle component. Very herbaceous mod. I think you need to see this. This is a classic indication of like dark cherries meets herbaceous greenness meets like a truffle violet kind of thing. Really big nose, isn't it?
Yes.
What do you think? Hate it? Like it?
The nose is nice.
Not bad.
It's almost as nice as Jacob's touchdown.
Oh, you want to throw jabs, huh? You give pointers to the maniacs out there. Yeah, listen, you may have the better football team, but we have the better human beings. I mean, our players don't go out and start shooting themselves in the legs and endangering people, and then have their teammates hide the gun. I mean, it's getting a little hairy in Giantland. Violets, crushed up rose petals, mixed in with green, like basil, mixed with high levels of raspberries and wild red fruits. Very intriguing $8 nose, worth the price of admission just on the nose, my friends. So if you want to learn about wine and you want to expand your palate and your nose, this wine alone on the nose is worth the 8 bones. Very cool. Now, to me, this would go great with the classic Hershey's milk chocolate. I mean, is there anything more classic than delicious Hershey's milk chocolate candy bar? Just classic, right?
It's really good chocolate.
It really is.
Chocolate.
I mean, not for like a chocolate connoisseur, but maybe. I don't know. Just really good. See what happens here? Now, I went right into the pairing of the chocolate and the fruit. What really happens here now with this is, this really accentuates, believe it or not, the herbaceous aspect of this wine. What really starts to come up is the raspberry fruit and the greenness, like a bell pepper component. Now, there's a reason I really like this. This Carmenere mixed with this Hershey's chocolate begins to kind of act almost Chinon-like because of the bell pepper and the greenness that comes through. Almost Cabernet Franc-like. And for my palate, that's a real play. But for a big audience out there, this pairing with the milk chocolate can get a little too green on the bell pepper. Now, let me just do one other thing. Let's say we pair this with a Butterfingers instead. Sorry. Butterfingers are good too. Amazing. The Butterfingers actually coat your palate and almost gives you an indication of a little bit of an oak component, believe it or not, because of the butter kind of style, and really smooths out this wine. So this wine, I think, would be far more popular for the fans out there to go Cantus with Butterfingers. This is the pairing. It's really quite amazing how completely different it tastes with the Hershey's chocolate and then with the Butterfingers. You get a much creamier, fuller component. To me, this is a beautiful 87-point wine both ways. It really just depends on your preference. If you like the old world Bordeaux, Loire Valley palate, you might like it with the pure milk chocolate of Hershey's. If you like a little bit more fruit and a little smoothness, and just the majority of people out there I think would, you're going to like this with the Butterfingers. It brings a creaminess and a vanilla component. The Cantus really wraps itself much better around the Butterfingers. I still prefer the edge, the bad boy image of the way it acts with the Hershey's, but the Butterfingers cannot be denied about being a more polished effort. A very good wine for 8 bones. Great pairing with Butterfingers. Kudos to Butterfingers. And again, another wine that I think is worthwhile to seek out to expand your palate at a very low cost. Now, let's move on to the next wine, Mott. This is a very special wine to me. This is one of my favorite wines in the store right now, and what we've been carrying in a long time. The Sottimano Bric del Salto 2007 Dolcetto di Alba. $15 US, 90 points, Antonio Galani. Dolcetto, which converts to the little sweet one, is one of my favorite favorite wines in the world from the Piedmont region. Baby Barolo Barbaresco, as people like to call it sometimes. A lot of fun and just very high quality wines for 15 bones for any wine drinker out there. Dolcetto Grape produces some of the most interesting, value-driven wine in the marketplace, overshadowed by the big Barolo Barbaresco craze that we have in the U.S., and then the Tuscan craze that overshadows the Piedmont craze. But these are two battle horse areas. What does battle horse mean? Two real big areas in Italy that produce wine, and I think Dolcetto is probably the most undervalued, value-driven of anything going on in those areas. More than Chianti, more than just Sangiovese from Tuscany, more than Barbera. I'm just a big Dolcetto fan. Love the wines. Great color. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. And here's the thing with these wines. The perfume aromatics are just always so gorgeous. I get beautiful cherry juice meets mulberry. And very candy-esque. Almost like Dylan's Candy Shop in the city. Just beautiful. Let's give it a whirl. Big. Ooh. Wow. Really dry tannins, even more so than I remember. Really serious, rustic flavors coming through. I get almost like rusted iron meets nails. I mean, just really like rustic, very serious. I get dark, black, high 95% cocoa count chocolate coming through on the mouthfeel. I mean, ooh, this is about as dry and tannic of a wine that we've had on the Thunder Show come across. Much more than I remember. Let me take a little Butterfingers. Did calm it down a little bit. The Butterfingers coming through, but let's say we go in a different direction. Little Three Musketeers, Mott. This is not a candy bar that I'm very high on. You?
No.
I've never been a big Three Musketeers fan. Let's see what happens here. It's just boring. What is that in the middle? What do they call it?
Creamy nougat.
Mott's on top of his game. 45% less fat now. Let's see what happens here. It's ironic. The Butterfingers kind of took a lot out of the Dolcetto, creamed it out, kind of made it a little boring. The Three Musketeers, though I don't like the candy bar still, is working extremely well with this. Kind of found the middle ground between that really tannic flavor profile I was getting when I first tasted it to the boring cream. Right down the middle, though, this Three Musketeers is doing a nice job with this. All of a sudden, I'm tasting a little bit more blueberry. I'm tasting a little bit more of the violets that are coming through. Getting a little bit of like a mushroom component on the back end now. Like Black Forest mushrooms on the back end. This is still one dry mofo. If you like really dry wines, I highly recommend you seek this out because it's dry. 90 points Coloni. I'm probably going to go 89 points. It's not showing as well as I remember. As a matter of fact, my last score on my tasting notes when I bought it was 91 plus. So a little bit down on this. Not showing as much. Just so dry. I'm having a tough time getting to any of the other component flavors. But a good wine, very well made. Probably a little bit of a disappointment in the scheme of things. But it is what it is. You got to keep it real in the Thunder Show, man. And finally, the Casali. The Casali di Bibbiano, Argante, 70% Cabernet, 30% Merlot, Super Tuscan. 30 bones. This is the expensive one, so if you're a baller and you want to ball out some expensive wine while you eat your Twix, you know, you're in a park and like, what up, baby? You eat this Twix. I rock the $30 vino with the Twix. If you want to do that, this is the wine that you want to do it with. Now, this wine I loved. Thought it rivaled many $50 to $80 Super Tuscans when I tasted it 3 months ago. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. This same gorgeous. Smell this, man. I think you're gonna love it. You get this beautiful, like, cinnamon spiced wood component coming through on the nose. Do you get that?
Yep.
You like it? No? Not your style?
Off the top of my head, it's not my
Cup of tea.
style.
You get this really beautiful kind of oaky, creamy, cream brulee meets chocolate dusted raspberry torte kind of thing going on. Very New World Cabernet meets, you know, Sanjo, just classic Tuscan style. Cabernet Merlot, Bordeaux varietals in Tuscany. Very beautiful nose. Definitely New World, no doubt. Let's give it a whirl. Absolutely divine with the Twix. Let me break it down one more time. Great upfront length. This wine will last for about 7 to 10 years and would go well with many foods, including Twix, where this combination is just creamy and powerful and very focused. The blackberry jam in the mid-palate of this wine is unescapable. It's very intense and very focused, very rich and very delish. This is a wine that I can really wrap my head around. I scored a 92 plus by itself. I think it's showing about 91 plus, 92 right now. This is extremely good. Great length. And if you're a super Tuscan fan, an absolute producer that you need to seek out. Great structure. Has all the stuffing and complexities you look for in a serious wine. That being said, 3 total bottles of this instead of one of those is a debate because I thought both the Merlot and the Carmenere from Cantus and Monteflores showed extremely well today. Highly disappointed with the Dolcetto, but could be a combination of all the different things going on. I mean, let's be honest, I was tasting all sorts of different things going on here. Again, 1 to 2 years drinking, 1 to 2 years drinking. This is a 3 to 5er. This can go 7 to 10 easy. All wines that can go with a magnitude of foods like burgers, hot dogs, you know, pizza night. These wines are great. Little pasta, you know, veal parmesan, classic Italian dishes. This is going to be a great fit, especially if you're looking for high tannins and dryness. I mean, this was really, really dry. And again, this is just one classy little player. This guy can really match up with a magnitude of different foods, run the complete gamut from top flight cuisine to really casual fare. And I thought the Argante really, really, really showed well. Big kudos to the candy bars. They were really the stars of the show today. Good job globally. I mean, I would say the 100 grand is my favorite of the bunch. Oh, I didn't even open the Milky Way.
Thanks, that's my favorite, by the way.
Get out of here.
I love Milky Ways.
It's all coming up,
It's
Bob.
karma.
It's all karma. Giants are winning. You're eating my Milky Ways. Life is good. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. This was a lot of fun. I was really waiting to match up the candy bars. This is serious, guys. I'm not kidding. Candy bars are great plays with wine. So if you want to do something cool for date night, you know, maybe take out your girl, you know, have her over for dinner, right? I'll cook, have her come over, and have like 8 candy bars and a nice bottle of wine. It's kind of sweet. Oh, it's kind of cool, you know? So definitely a play there. Question of the day, what is your favorite candy bar? You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world.